This is where we fight!
The battle is on. Mars versus Venus with Nikki, Jaiga, and Rode.
Oh yeah.
Morning, Ojo. How you doing? We welcome you to Mars versus Venus, of course. This is where we bring couples closer together, or we drive them a little further apart.
You see, this is exactly my point. This is what I cannot deal with this. This is what I cannot deal with.
So, we going with that topic, right?
Yeah, we're going with yours.
No, this was one of our listeners this week that said, you know what? I want to know what that girl and them want to bring to the table, boy.
Originally, guys, let me just say this. The original topic, I really came here this morning to talk about alcohol.
What the?
Rum drinking in a relationship.
Rum drinking?
Yeah. Because it's really upsetting that Nicole comes here at least twice to 3 times a month.
You know,
highly intoxicated with a hangover.
Highly intoxicated.
With a hangover to do the show. And she's shouting at me just now, guys, off mic.
Wow.
Low down. I don't know how you want me to low down the head.
Strictly tequila.
Talk softer.
I wouldn't say you have excuses. I wouldn't say that.
You know, I want to open this show. It's Mars versus Venus. It's the day we fight. What?
Didn't reach our intervention.
Yeah.
Borderline.
Anyway, let me open this show,
Borderline intervention.
Good morning, Ojo World. We say good morning to our beautiful ladies, you sexy mamas. You know who you be, looking fine all the time. And we say good morning to our beautiful gladiators. Yeah. And we say good morning to the Spartans. Stop with insecurity. Good morning to the Spartans. Woohoo! Woohoo! Right. So, this morning, we had a suggestion. Remember, man song very, like you felt almost traumatized about what are you bringing to the table in relationships now? What are you bringing to the table, male and female? A man see me and says, Nikki, you know, here's the best thing about COVID, boy. Say, what? Say, real man find out the wife can't cook. Say, What are you bringing to the table?
This is on the female side, right? This is
No.
Both sides.
Slow down, bro. Slow down.
This
On
is
both sides.
excluding. This is excluding your Pikachu, right? Pikachu not in this conversation,
No,
right?
you cannot say that.
Why not?
Because a lot of people
A
believe
lot.
that holds serious collateral. Bro, there are some people who honestly believe that the value
Of their WAP.
of their WAP determines their position in everything. Because there are some people who honestly believe to themselves that
I should be like Prime Minister Trinidad and
the
Tobago.
value. Well, this is the thing. And when a man says something like that, 'cause I told somebody once that your energy not really up there. They say, what do you mean? My thing. I say, well, if that was the case, if that really was the case, if you see, it's always good to dress for the job you want. You know, people tell you that dress for the job you want.
Yeah.
So you come out there with that positive energy.
I
will continue to support anybody when they're going down that road. But at some point in every human being's life, you have to deal with reality. You have to stop, look at yourself, and speak the truth. Even though you might think that you possess the greatest of them all, that your Pikachu is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Jerry, tell you something,
Even though you think that is what you have, if it has not granted you anything top tier. Yeah. Meaning that there are women out there who, trust me, the business really on top. Because they could say, because of this, I got this. But if you are living in a space within yourself and saying that your thing is grand, but when you really look at the scheme of things.
But then what when you think grand? But then on their man that's all they want though?
That's the thing.
They want a best woman who look good and have a best WAP. And them just they could order in every day.
Exactly. So when I'm saying you have to deal with your reality, if that's what you want.
So are we talking here about double palm or are we talking about a real relationship?
Relationship.
Because this is a double palm conversation all they're having here.
How?
Yeah, if you're just talking about WAP alone.
No, we're not talking map. I don't want to go down that road again today. Last week we dealt with that. We're not talking about.
That's what I said. That cannot be all they bring into the table.
You say that some people will believe that that's what they bring to the
Right.
table. I just wanted to make clear that you can't exit it out. You can't tell a girl that is not had no value. Of course, anything in her, if in her mind it has value, you have to have that respect. You have to give her the benefit and say, okay, cool. Because some people believe that. There's a woman might say, you tell her, what are you bringing to the table? And she said, but look how good our intimacy is. That is what I'm bringing. At least I'm making you happy in that field.
Right.
You
and,
cannot.
And there's some men, that's all they want in
That's
life.
what I'm saying. But you can't, I tell you, talking around, you
No, but
can't
they're-
diminish
they're-
it. You
they're
can't say,
also-
well, that is not enough.
I talking for me. There are also some men that believe that as well, within themselves.
Yeah, of
Or
course.
that they are best.
Yeah, what they bring there?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that is it. Eh?
Yeah.
That man so too.
Yeah. I inherited my family jewels and
Yeah.
I'm a contribution.
Yeah, the magic stick.
Yeah.
Some people
Understand?
believe daddy magic.
Wait.
Some people be have
You
the
wasn't
magic.
feeling good last night?
Yeah.
Huh? You'll go to work, eh?
It have that.
I just so worried now that relationships are based on so many things that are so not important,
Frivolous.
so frivolous, so will not matter in 5-10 years into a marriage.
You
You
could
know,
say that, but at the end of the day, I deal with reality.
Pikachu
I
must
want
have
to
5
know you
years
could
into
go to the
relationship.
supermarket. We can go to Price Smart. Here, when I give you full respect, we go to Price Smart, we pack 2 carts, and when you get to the teller, you flash it, and we get that cling cling go away. That is when you know you have value.
what, flash my boobies?
That you, if that
What?
is case, Nikki, we can buy pie.
Wow.
So,
Say less, no stress. You can't even get
When you get laughing.
we going and
Wow.
we going and determine if we eating by you flashing. We
get
can
cheats by
get
like-
cheats by
By Ken's way.
Let me be real. Let me be real.
Ken.
Let me be real. If
know-
you going and flash we to eat
Oh, you
Nikki,
don't-
we go
Go flash.
starve. Let me look. Let me look on that
Nikki
right
is $5.
Oh, they tried to tell me that if I flash, I can't even get a pie.
Nicole, come on
The
now.
people of Trinidad and Tobago stood with RFA and you said that I can't get a pie.
You trying to compare your situation with Aaron Fabian? You want them to start, Nicole, face the truth. You would not eat for many, many days. I ain't saying you wouldn't eat at all.
You know what?
You will get some to eat. I'm not saying you wouldn't. But come on, Nico, you and all know to yourself you ain't going to eat for no months and years. Come on, man. You go eat. But you gonna...
Might stretch it till Wednesday.
You can't eat for no... Like you're going to live good, have house, car, land. You ain't going to get all that, Nikki. Come on, be honest.
Oh, Nikki, we see that already.
Come on.
You know what?
Come on. So we talking today, bringing to the table. Because there's so many things when we talk about bringing to the table.
Wow, you see?
What's that?
Your nonsense start already.
Wow.
She hold camel on the table.
You see? Again, guys, we're talking about when
You
two
see the
people
comment? My
when
ex.
when two people come together in the nowadays time, nowadays, like in the right now. The conversation had to be there a long time. It was really decent, you know. A woman will give the respect of, he like me, I like him back. Let me leave it so and see how it go. No, it's not that, you know. When a youth man go at a girl right now, is where I have, you know. Then I know I like you, I like my back. I only like you if. You understand? I only like
well,
you if.
wasn't it
That ain't
always
real
so
nonsense.
like,
Nah.
you know,
That ain't
meaning,
real nonsense.
it wasn't as it is now, but there's a point where, you know, growing up, you no boy who didn't have
A vehicle.
a vehicle
Yeah.
to come and pick me up in my mother's house. That's how it had to be. My
Yeah, but
mother.
if she like him, she'd have still give him a jam.
Yeah.
That is the facts. You wouldn't have the car, but if she like you, if the girl genuinely had a
Yeah,
likeness
yeah.
for
I
you,
agree, I agree.
she's that thing. But
Studying
now it can't be there because the it's so fickle that they have to compare so many things because they put the marker. We put the marker, which is not real. Which is how it's supposed to look
Exactly.
on social media. Like I
Right.
say, relationships now are not even real relationships, you know.
No.
People in relationships are not really together, you know. They're in the relationship, but they're trying to outperform their peers. It's like, no, it has to be like the trend now for birthdays and stuff. The man must bring 12 roses and put $100 on each rose.
Oh, really?
Then
Yeah,
stack
that
you with
level.
stack you with 2 stacks or 3
Yeah.
stacks or 4 stacks. So you gotta give a
Right.
girl 40,000 cash
What?
plus a
Where this happening?
I'm telling you, that's the trend. Yeah, she has to
So-
be gifted with. She has to be gifted with Fendi bags and
My thing is,
whatever.
right?
It has to be posted. Most importantly, it has to be posted. You have to show a surprise little gathering for your girl. You have to post it. And now the new trend is you have to put a bow on it.
All right, so okay, let's go back to the beginning. What are men looking for in women now? And this because long time it was like, she could cook, she have childbearing hips, whatever it used to be.
If it is,
but now, what do men look for in terms of the mother of their children, the wife?
Mm-hmm. Bro, if I knew earlier, yeah.
If you knew earlier, damn.
You thought it no
stress.
If I knew that. But in all honesty, right now, I sit humbly to say, all I want is an unirritated tone. And I could live for the rest of my days. Swear to God. I want somebody who could, when they say good morning, it echoes comfort to my heart and make my heart smile. The morning doesn't sound like how Nikki they say good morning, where it automatically irritates you. There's some people, their voice and their tone irritates you immediately. I'm not saying you do. I have gotten accustomed to you.
Oh, but me, I got accustomed to you too.
Right, but there's some tones that, it's just a live for the rest of your days with irritation.
Where people living like that now?
People are living in a space right now where they're irritated by the littlest of things.
Which part you is?
Yeah.
Good point here. COVID has reduced the value of WAP.
Mm-hmm.
They're struggling WAP in this society today.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful if WAP is all you have to offer in a relationship, because think about it true. This, in terms of my lifetime, the biggest issue we had before this in terms of globally really huge was AIDS. And HIV, when it first came on the scene, the information that was out there, and that was actually sleeping on someone. You can't even get past the stage of the 6 feet. So the pandemic is different, and because of that, you've put everybody in the little bubbles. So you had to pass through the bubble before you could get to the other side. We look for good credit score, decent bank account, and no sex tape. That's what they're looking for in a relationship. Wow. Yeah. We look for good credit score, decent bank account, and no sex tape. And that is
sex tape?
No, but that is
that
a
hard
lot.
to come wrong.
Wow.
Most, I'm sorry to say,
Well, people are
in
taking
this
out
time
there.
in here right now,
that cloud busy.
I watched a survey the other day that 8 out of every 10. 8 out of every 10 girls have a tape. It mightn't be public, but 8 out of every 10 girls have a video of a previous relationship with them jamming.
And they have it on their phones.
You have to normalize walking in on your girlfriend and seeing her watching her ex jamming.
Nikki, you lucky.
Because that's what it is. It's on the phone.
Oh, it's on the
you
phone.
lucky,
Of
Nikki.
course.
You're not going to hit your someone big cuff. I know where you're going with this. I'm shutting the door before you even open it. I am moving on.
Your tape on cassette.
Let's get Nicola
Really
rest.
lucky.
Let's ease it up. But no.
I was on VHS,
Wow. You think, it is you on VHS and a sex tape and the sex tape stretch and you had to be seen you jam.
You know my sex tape stretch. You know that my sex tape stretch.
Normally everybody sex tape going, and Nicola going,
You see, I hate you, boy.
I got. You didn't even have one of that DVD, girl?
Nico, take on a VHS cassette. Hey, you have to take a pencil to rewind.
Betamax.
You see, Nico rewind, she take on a pencil to catch it back.
I hate you, boy.
And when you're looking for
And
excitement,
all you who listen and laughing, you're going to bounce your big toe.
when you're ready for the excitement, you're reaching for the camera, you're
all you know my sex tape stretch up.
Hey! Only I gone!
Hate you, boy.
Hey!
It's how men transfer anything now, so you could carry a cassette and transfer.
Carry a thing like that. Because Nick, you need to revitalize, you need to rebrand, you need to let the world understand that you are still part of society today.
You know,
gosh.
You're still part of society today.
If I cuss today, I hope you will understand. And they wouldn't take our license.
In doing so is just being part of the trend. It's a
Look,
trend.
let me just shut up. Let me.
Come to Biden.
You know Biden.
This clown I have to work with here. Shut up. My ability to tolerate them, I think the fact that I with them is what I bring into the table. It doesn't matter what I have to offer. I could have everything society said I should have, and you're given to someone who is damaged. It won't matter. This generation, we need to know trigger response, and if they are taking care of their own mental health.
That's important.
It's always
there are mad people out there.
Always say, if you could tell me the reason why you love me, then you really do love me, you know.
What?
Yeah. If
you
could tell somebody, if you could come up with a reason or tell somebody why you love them, then it really not love.
Yeah, because there's just too much things that.
If I say I love you because you're here.
Yeah.
Right, and then 2 years down you realize
you realize it was never she.
Exactly.
She had a weave.
So is within understanding that, because people have so much expectations now.
No, but
once you can reach that level and you don't have that and you don't have this,
into the social
that's
media
where love dies.
What we talked about. I always refer to my nieces growing up and your kids growing up, seeing the Kylie Jennys and Jenners, and they have a certain look now, and the boyfriends, as you say, spoil them with all these things, and then poor fella come and he bring a little chicken sandwich or a cruncher.
Real good one.
When you read the threads,
good one.
The girls are saying normalize giving me an allowance.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You could get that?
There are women who are going on and like Tommy and them was talking sometime this week. It had girls calling and saying, a man calling and saying they yield 4,000 a week. I want to know where you working.
4,000 a week?
Where you working? Now you could just give your significant other 4 Gs every week, every Friday, whole lot every Friday morning.
Patty, I appreciate your support. A good walking old thing better than a young thing. Patty, I appreciate your support, but if Nikki hit me the 2 Chinese Himalayas, she living good. Boy, I'm spending my money. I looking to climb the Himalayas, boy. Jaiga and Rodi.
Wow.
Patty, pull back.
Wow.
Joe.
Wow.
Pull back.
Again, everybody have their preference. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, Rodi said Nikki sex tape on VHS, all right? But all of a sudden you have a hearing problem? You know...
Love. If I see and like you, I don't care, you don't have to earn nothing. Because since I small, I look at lunatic and Aloysius know that PUM rules. But if you have any saloon and when mommy and daddy die and leave for you, that is a big bonus. Ojo, the thing blossom.
Blossom. At the end of the day, it's not always about financials. What I'm saying is that there comes a point in every relationship when you get a is a term. When you can get somebody heart to smile, is when you know the thing correct. When everything about that person, as I always say, it has to be something that comes so natural within now. When you can just want to do it. See, when you have to remember, you have to write it down. You have to force yourself. You know where the thing not good. From the time you have to remind yourself that, oh God, why you really had to carry this for she? Oh God, why really? Or they call to do something, a simple chore like, hey, let's come and carry me down there to something, and it's annoying. You know the relationship not good. Once it's not natural within your spirit, it is not good.
God, united, how could fry a bake, you know? Never
Senpai
tasted it, but
Senpai.
You're looking for no BS. Period. And loyalty. Come and take a rare tune. On a car.
Wow, that's shallow bad boy.
Aqua, okay.
That's shallow bad boy. That real shallow.
Come and take a rare on a car.
That's too shallow, man. Come on.
No, but realistically, that's not what men looking for.
Well,
but at least a career and she's goal-minded, etc.
Not goal-minded, I mean.
Wait.
We think.
Right, sir. You know what I meant?
Gold digger minded?
No, not GOLD, GOAL.
Goal, right.
Goal.
Nikki, Rodi, I looking for a woman who don't really quarrel, you know. You see the quarreling thing? Yeah, I sure real man can't take that too. You see that quarreling thing? Yeah, we do all that right now. That is how we were. We cool with everything else, yeah. Trust me.
You can't get away from that, bro.
That boy is inherited from the great-great-great-grandmothers. Oh, you can pull that out. Lisa, how you doing, Fire Farm?
Good morning, Breakfast
Linda.
Party. in this generation, people are looking for no children, childbearing hips, and stuff like that. People, especially if it's a social media heavy relationship, people looking to see how many followers you got, where you been on vacation, how you living your life, the false life, not the actual one. You know, the one that you showing everybody and not the one that you actually live in. So people's perception of relationship in 2020 is so different comparing to when Nikki was coming up and what she was looking for, what Jerry was looking for. Today you will rarely find people looking for somebody that know how to cook because they got so many restaurants, and most women will tell you, well, I just get my nails done, dread. I ain't trying to go in no kitchen.
Yeah, facts. As I'm telling you, that is the and you have, and the term is you have to normalize so much things they want you to normalize now. You have to normalize giving a 4,000 a week. You have to normalize planting, giving putting $100 bill on every rose. You have to normalize giving 4 stacks for a birthday. You have to normalize buying Fendi. Normalize.
Love has dwindled down to
love. It's not even love. It's not about love. It's about making sure. It's about creating.
It's about your status.
It's about creating the complete photograph and making sure the photograph.
But that is not going to last.
It won't.
It wouldn't. But you have to try and keep it for as long as you can.
So we're gonna just keep doing it as
long
as we
can. It's a rabbit hole there, you know. And 2020, let's open up the hole. It's a rabbit hole, and they keep going further and further down the hole. One day they will realize somebody will be cool and hip. It's gonna take a young superstar, maybe 15 years from now, 20, to decide, hey, let me try the way that I heard about or I read about and make it cool again. It's like everything else. Look now how, not disrespect to the brand, so when all they hear me say this, they'll get upset. Let's use White Oak as an example. You remember 15 years ago, you will be caught drinking White Oak in a public space by your foot on a boat ride when it have Hennessy and Hypnotic and all them nice drinks that put by your foot. No, but somebody somewhere normalized it that is cool. That generation was coming up that made it cool. They turned it into punchy punch. They make it fancy. It's a drink thing, and it was always and now part of the fad. So now it's cool. It's about normalizing what is cool in the moment. Right now, relationships. It is cool to see them kind of things, to have 4-stack birthday parties, to have everybody birthday party. You have to be
all about the look.
You have to have helium.
No, it's all about the look.
You have to have helium balloons floating in the ceiling. Surprise your girl. Call up all her friends. Make it out a scene. That's what it is about right now.
Well, I want to pick up my wife Candice in New York. She went to work, school, still have time to fry aloo and roti in the evening. She has plenty to bring to the table.
Big up yourself,
my brother.
Die and breathe.
Big up yourself. Fry aloo, boy.
I rather the man who could bring the cruncher and fix the hinge on the door any day over the man that given me the 4,000. The cruncher man will have my heart any day.
As an old soul.
About 10 years ago, a brethren of mine told me, he's like, you're in a minority where you have your own house, your own car, you have a good job, you have education, So it's like a man will feel intimidated by you. What they're going to bring to the table except for bygone. And so really, that question is vital. What all they could bring to the table now for women in our kind of position.
You hear that?
For Jaiga. Good morning, Jaiga.
Wow.
You see how times have changed where...
Is according to what you need. You have to tell me what you need, honey.
At the end of the day, you know what people take for granted? And many relationships, especially the ones like when neighbor talk about when she has all of these things put together.
Everything put together nice.
Many women like that.
The man who could put in that quality time in the relationship, and I'm not talking jam time here. I'm talking about these little things, understanding, like knowing when you need comfort, knowing when you need the right good morning, knowing when to intervene. You have all the cream,
You need a man who's extremely emotionally intelligent.
Exactly. And vulnerable.
Where you have your things, you're doing your thing long
and
time.
respect the fact that you're big, you're big. Even me, like even bigger than me, you might be like, all right, cool, you have a nice career thing, you're earning more than me. Like I always say, shout to my boy Ricky, my boy now, who in Texas now. House husband. People don't understand that he and house husband, but house husband to the point of he is still the man of the home.
Right.
If you see you will not understand for a second that his wife earning. If he had $10, his wife had 10,000 on top of it. But the respect is there, and it's because of how he steps up and how he delivers. A man has a rule. And a role of a man is to be a man for a lady and do it in a way, not aggression, but if your significant other is going through something, you ought to be that rock. To say, don't worry. It's not about money in that moment, It's about, hey, don't worry, I have this and I have us and I have you.
And it always comes back, guys, to what I keep preaching every week, the we road. If all you're not playing no mind games, and somebody, I think it was Aquaman, said it earlier, mind games have a lot to do with relationships lasting or not lasting. Mind games have a lot to do with going through his phone versus you never did, always there, you never once felt to go and check his phone. And that's the kind of level we're talking about. But does it change? Is that everything in the world and what we know about relationships changing because of this new world?
What Homeboy said there about the new age and social media type relationships. Social media type relationships too is a whole different thing, Nico. When you have to live not for yourselves but for how you look
everybody.
And for everybody causes a problem. Like the things you post. Like to me, sometimes it gets to a point where it's dumb. Where glorifying your significant other is great. Supporting your significant other is fabulous. But having to do it in a public forum all the time for it to be deemed as you love them, I think it's dumb. I think it's dumb. If you're truly into somebody, they will know. And they will know from the time they wake up in the morning how they feel and how you respond to them on that level.
Wait, I have a response to neighbor. Neighbor, I'm a retired military. 40 years old, no kids, 2 master's degree, making 110,000 annually as US, of course. What can a woman offer me?
See, and then
I mean,
he might be bad for asking that.
No, I mean, of course, I know real things a woman could offer you.
Yeah.
Rub your head, you was a military man. I show your knee and thing in good, sap your foot.
Yeah.
Firstly, Charan, you know.
Somebody could
All
give
the
you.
morning, Nikki, you don't worry about them talking about if you can't get a pie, Remember Jaiga running the chancellor half naked and can't get a GoFundMe to move on none of them thing yet. How much money he making in this OnlyFans?
How much?
Rody said is according to what you need, and that is so true because cool. Because I have a friend, well I should say a former friend now because we don't talk anymore, that I asked him, I said, well, what are you bringing to the table? And he said anybody he end up with is going to be set for life. But he meant financially, and that's great.
Yeah.
And it's true because he makes a lot of money. He's very ambitious, whatever. But listen to me. He is a terrible communicator. He doesn't know how to respond to people's feelings, and he doesn't know how to express his own. And that could never work. That's failure, because at the end of the day, no matter how successful you are professionally, financially, you still need somebody to share your life with. Not a robot, but a person.
But isn't that the problem with many men? I think we now having these comfortable conversations about men and their feelings.
True.
Right?
Facts.
Because I've gone out with men already who just don't. I'm a
numb.
communicator.
Yeah, they're numb.
I cannot be in a relationship, and you and I cannot communicate.
A lot of women can communicate too.
Right, vice versa.
Lots.
And we've been trying to find out what is this thing called love every Friday for years, and it always have to go back to we have to be on the same page and communication. That communication.
And reciprocation.
Will you consider?
Because
reciprocation is a hell of a thing.
Yes, because
you could give somebody your all, and all you want in return is not, you don't want to be put on a pedestal, but the
recognized.
But appreciated. The appreciation has to be. I mean, I'm talking about getting a medal, getting a prize, and lifting. Oh, you are the greatest. It's not that. It's a simple thank you. Sometimes could go 10,000 miles,
Yeah.
But people are not there.
But it's sometimes, and sometimes it's not taken for granted. Sometimes it's because I have to remind myself with my husband. I have to tell myself, Jerry do certain things, but I never want him to feel that I take it for granted. I'm very appreciative. Like I talk about this all the time. Jerry love to do laundry. No. But that's the thing. He's do the laundry. He's fold it up, and that's one of the things. And I want him to know I'm appreciative of it, and it's not that I take it for granted. So again,
and there's ways women to appreciate your man when they do stuff like that. I can't talk about it here right now,
because
but I can send all your email. I can send all your email how to. I'm gonna do a buzz. I could tell you all how it happens when you come by. It's happened by the fridge. That's the most I'll tell you. Time for this. All right, guys, welcome back. We're back inside. This is Mars versus Venus on a Friday. We're talking about what can you bring to the table. But you know how that goes. It goes all over the place. But the fact of the matter is we're trying to just iron down the new age way of doing it.
New
Like,
age
how do you...
And what you're looking for, what you expect people to bring to the table is not the same.
How do you engage?
As it was in your parents' stage, which was, as you say, childbearing hits, and if she could cook.
Yeah, nobody care about them things no more.
Yeah,
nobody cares about that no more. Nobody.
I mean, you don't know your situation, and at the end of the day, operate as a team, as a unit. Play a role for the betterment of the family. Right? If it's just you and your spouse, play a role. Play a role and function.
I advise men to just buy current roll and thing and just invest in little shops and produce. It's better like plant garden rather than get girl. Plant garden.
Hey, Nikki, you hear what I'm telling you? I'm telling you that they might get through till like for just a couple days flashing. You know what they probably really try to tell you? You're probably better off doing like Ghana and wait for your time for pension.
Damn.
Thank you, Ariane.
Wow.
Thank you for the commentary this morning.
Wow.
Morning, Linda. You know she have to check in.
Good morning, Ojo.
Morning.
This is Rhonda from St. Margaret's.
Rhonda.
And it's my birthday.
It's your
Blessed
birthday.
morning to the breakfast party. I'm having
Happy
a wonderful time. I
birthday.
start off early.
You
Hey,
go
happy
in the
girl.
house.
birthday, happy birthday,
Enjoy it to the
Randy.
fullest. You know, I'm a birthday girl, so enjoy it to the fullest. Don't let no corona type your vibes.
But in real and real, I ain't looking for nothing. I'm looking after myself. But I'm looking, but I ain't really pressing on it now.
Yeah, you're impressing.
Anytime night, what I'm looking for, go find me.
True that, my brother. Don't
Bro.
press. Don't press.
You know what I
No
mean?
stress.
Yeah,
Don't press.
What
You're
is
using
looking
your binoculars.
is
I
find you.
Yeah, don't look for nothing.
Bring
out
back
there.
love. Love is what will save us all in the end. Love is
No,
the
no,
real
no.
key to
What's
life,
saving us
especially
is
these COVID times.
A DSS hand. Don't forget love.
What I want to know is the communication part that also Lily mentioned, right?
I love to call it
With
on,
women in
Feel love,
particular.
me give my hand.
Right, with women in particular, do you all think that communication, when a man is communicating with you or he's not communicating, does it mean that you expect him to always soothe your ears with sweet melodies all the time, even though you need pulling up?
No, that's not what she meant by communication. Not soothing
No,
ears with
I'm
She
talking
asked in a
about.
separate.
I'm
yeah.
talking about when Lily said communication
You
is
see, that's-
important. I
that-
have men who cannot communicate. Is a man who cannot communicate a man who just mute and he will always brush it off or he will always ignore it? Or is a man who cannot communicate one that, you know, you may get into arguments with at times, you may have a heated discussion, he may not tell you what you want to hear
No, that's not
all
it.
the time. You understand?
Well,
When
that's
it
a
is-
real man.
You know what I mean?
And,
If
but-
a woman don't want you to tell them nothing about yourself, you know.
But they have to be real with themselves. They have to realize that because we all have egos, and this is what I think mess up a lot of relationship egos. Sometimes it's so easy to come and say, hey, Jed, you know, my bad, sorry.
I know that
compared to, no, you're going down, you're wrong,
Yeah.
but you're strong.
Yeah.
And these are the kind of things
No
that
middle ground.
destroy relationships.
And what we need to normalize is the fact that women carry egos as well.
Of
Correct.
For
Is
many,
right.
many
Correct.
years,
Of course.
people believe that
Yeah.
ego was synonymous with
thing.
man.
No, women
People
have
hear
it.
the word ego and
Women
think
have
man.
it.
Automatically
There
think
are
I'm
women
man.
out
You
there
know,
with
when
some
you-
inflated egos
Correct,
that
is
is
right.
out of the
And
world.
it works both ways, meaning that a person have lost a really good partner because of egos.
Correct.
I can't deal with somebody who always think they're right, boy.
Yeah.
And to
You
go back
know-
to Rudy's point, communication. When she asks about communication and say if it's just a man that is mute, it's not about being mute. It's about being able to even articulate the fact that you're uncomfortable in sharing or expressing, and you have to find a way. However, some people mightn't be able to communicate with words, you know,
Yeah,
but they
true.
will do it with action. Like you might see a man, he'll come over by the house and he upset, he won't say nothing, but he just finding thing to do outside. He cleaning yard, washing down, doing this, and you if you love
something
somebody,
going on.
you have to see the triggers. You have to figure out,
Something going
and
on.
you know, as Nikki said, you have to deflate your ego, step to your man, and be like, yo, I seen you have a problem.
Yeah.
And try and find that window to communicate.
Yeah.
But if you find that me telling you nothing, is that all?
Well, no, I kind
Or
of
vice versa.
I went through that with my relationship, where in the sense that, okay, Jerry get up in a bad mood, right? How I deal with that? That's your space, my brother. You know, give you a little space. wherever you're going through mentally, physically, you deal with
Make
it.
a little sandwich and
Right.
leave it there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Crush something and leave it right there. And after that, people, I thought we had to deal with it.
Compared it to women that wanted to talk, most times want to talk, etc. And I'm saying that men have to make conscious efforts now to open up and communicate.
And when we say talk to...
And women are not mind readers, and vice versa.
But in speaking as well, Nico, you have to understand, some people also, you see, words are power, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And some people don't understand the difference between talking to and talking down to.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
there's some
and
people...
that could trigger both sides.
Exactly. Some people speak from a place of...
My first thing is, you're not my father,
Sometimes it just start with
Bring
talking
down
to,
that tone.
And then it gets into...
And then it reach a point where, boy...
Of superiority, you know, like, yo, I listen to me. And like,
I want to tell you...
I'm smarter than...
Yeah.
I am bigger than... And you are not. And you are not at my level. And when you start to get to that kind, it just gets dark. And it deteriorates. So you have to find that maturity to say, listen.
That thing was never good.
Oh, that's a regular.
No, but you know what's interesting in that, and we were talking about it the other day.
Yeah.
We see when you're fighting, you have to fight fair.
Nobody does that.
Fight fair, Nikki.
No, just listen to me.
In which world?
You need to be conscious that when you're angry, we say things.
The worst things.
The worst, the nastiest things. But on the other hand, after you make up, you regret those things, and the other person hold on to those. They don't forget that.
What about your actions?
Right?
What about your actions? Even though you may say something out of haste and anger.
Because you can't take back words.
My actions or your actions speak way more.
Because, like, okay, I will say things when I argue, right? And then Jerry will bring it up after we finish arguing. I say, but I was arguing. You know, you take that on? I was in heated anger.
Yeah. No,
right? But some people take it on, and he says, "Oh, that's what you're really thinking."
I think women just hold on to it too. Women just hold on to it more than man. When you tell a woman something that she will bring it back up.
Yeah. Women, we
You're
hold
bound
on
to
to
hear about
stuff.
that again.
So we have to learn to fight fairly, because if you
Especially
don't,
a PNM woman.
Yeah.
Them could hold grudge, boy. Oh, God. Yeah, I could treat all of you and see she'll hear it and think, but you see happy in them.
They just hold on to things. Hold on to things.
Jesus Christ. Then bring him
on that ball.
Them holding on to that ball and bringing it back. Oh, God.
Morning, Michelle Reds. Have a great day.
Hey.
Well, back. Oh, God, look at the time.
Yo, no woman, I want no man with no big set of money. I want to treating them like nothing and making them feel unwanted and all kind of thing and talking to them all how, anyhow, anyway. Woman, I want that partner, man. Woman want man to make she feel special, make she feel loved, make she feel cherished. It's small thing. Just don't forget she birthday. Don't forget all the special times and take she simple places. Go to the beach, walk, all kind of simple thing. That is all a woman need. Go home and cook something and reach home before, wash your clothes, clean up the kitchen. It's a love, because at the end of the day.
Oh, sorry, I cut him off there. Sorry. It's a love. So I'm going to go Haywire. Where's Haywire? She give us some wisdom.
Oh, Joel, good morning.
Good morning, Haywire.
Love was found in my parent and grandparent time. You see, right now, the people and them who could get dig out is the girl and them with the 24-inch weave and the 12-inch eyelash, the community leaders, the zessers, carman, policeman, soldier man, radio disc jockey,
wow.
And on a mountain, the old men with the jingle bells.
Wow.
What's this boy?
You see, she's a audio correspondent. She's been doing research for us and stuff.
The love was in her grandparents' days. Now is about a soldier man, a coast guard, a police,
Pensioner.
a radio disc jockey, and a pensioner on a mountain with the jingle bells. You understand? That's
Good
you
morning,
love it
Breakfast
out.
Party. Good morning, Joel.
Wow.
Jaiga, I hear what you're saying, as a man, if you're bringing all these things to the table. But if a man brings emotional support, being a provider financially, growing up with the kids, teaching, cooking, cleaning, when you find a woman that could see a man doing all these things, that does not need her in his life, but wants her in his life, and she have a dependency to feel appreciated, they run. Most rated men run from men who are competent in every space of their life. So, right back at neighbor.
It happens that way as well. He's correct.
Mars versus Venus this
It
morning,
happens
boy.
that way as well. You have men who are well-rounded and have a lot of things going on, and some people
Creates
require
insecurity.
some people require some
Within
kind
the
of.
partnership.
There's some women who requires that type of attention that it comes off as a competition. It's like they're competing for you and competing for your time and not understanding how to live cohesively in that kind of union.
This is how gender roles and boundaries we place on people is failing us. Love looks different for each couple. We always say that, you know. Okay, guys, so many voice notes. Sorry, couldn't get all out. Oh, yeah.
So it all boys back down to the Pikachu guys.
No, it does
Right?
not, buddy. It does not. All they do take on Rudy, it does not. It's bigger than the Pikachu. Well, at sometimes. Yeah, that is it, buddy.